Hey guys, what's up? Welcome back to my channel. Thanks so much for tuning into the makeup trolley. If you didn't know already, my name is Amanda, and if you've never watched me before, then welcome. So you're probably wondering why I'm sitting here with no makeup on, and honestly, it's just because the sunlight is coming through my living room window right now, and it's usually pretty rare that I'm home with good natural lighting, so I really wanted to take advantage of it. And I'm not wearing makeup because I can't guarantee that by the time I do my face and then sit down here to film that the sun is still going to be in the same place that it was before. See, it just got brighter. Did you notice that? So yeah, don't mind it going in and out, but I thought that this was lighting that I should take advantage of, so I'm going to do that. I did a poll on Instagram recently, and I didn't really know what video to film next, so I said, okay, do you guys want to see a makeup tutorial, or do you want to see makeup I returned? Now, I wanted to do this video, but I just didn't know if anyone else wanted to see it, and makeup that I returned won. Version of the Star Spangled Banner that's going around. Did you stop to think about how many people probably approved her version of it? Like, I was just thinking about that. Like, someone heard it, then who knows what went on behind the scenes. Maybe she had a whole other wackadoo version that was like way more, like, I don't even know what you call that. It's not, is it pitchy? I'm not really sure. Like, maybe it was so much worse that when she got to that version, someone was just like, well, this is the best it's gonna get, so we might as well just let her do it. Like, obviously it was probably ultimately her decision, but like, people approved it. People heard it and said that that was an okay version. Okay, anyway, sorry, I pulled up the wrong thing. But anyway, so I did a poll on my Instagram, and I asked you guys if you wanted to see a makeup tutorial or a makeup I returned video. And makeup I returned won by 77%, so that's going to be my next video, which is right now. So anyway, first things first, what I will say, I feel like I should probably put in a disclaimer, even though, I don't know, people just do that, so I feel like I probably should. I am making this video today to explain and let you guys know what makeup that I have spent my money on, because I don't get sent anything, I'm not like famous or anything like that, and that I've returned, because I know a lot of bloggers will do like a makeup I hate or like disappointing products video, and they keep a basket with them of products that, you know, were disappointing to them, and they save it and then they film with it. Well, guess what? I am not rich, so the minute I don't like something, I usually know pretty quickly, I return it. I need to get my money back, okay? Mama's got rent to pay, she's got bills to pay. She doesn't have time to be throwing it in a basket, you know, waiting for it to collect dust just so I can make a video. So I'm gonna put pictures of all the products and their prices somewhere over here in the background on the video or whatever. And yeah, let's just get into it. I will let you guys know what I returned, why I returned it, how much it was, and kind of anything else that I have to say about it. So if you want to see makeup that I returned to Sephora and got my money back for, then keep on watching. And I have been tracking my purchases since the fall, and I will say, just as like another little disclaimer, just because they didn't work for me doesn't mean it's not going to work for you. It's just a personal preference thing. So one of the first products I returned, it actually took me a little bit of time to return, and it's the Fenty Beauty Matchstix Trio. I had also gotten like a single Matchstix, which I also returned, and I returned the blotting powder as well as the touch-up brush that came with it, like the little magnetic thing. Okay, so in the Fenty Matchsticks that I got, I had gotten the light shade, the light range, so it came with Linen, Amber, and Starstruck. Now, I really liked all of them, to be totally honest with you. I liked all the shades. I thought Linen was a little bit too close to my skin tone. That was like the concealer color, but I liked that it was natural looking. And then Amber was a great contour shade. Starstruck was a really pretty highlight. And I had also bought Mocha as like a bronzer color, because even though it's the contour shade in the medium set, it was just, it's too, for me personally, it's too warm of a contour shade to use on my skin tone. So I bought that as well to kind of have like, you know, my contour, highlight, concealer, and bronzer. Even though I liked these shades, for me it was just too much effort to work with. So you'll see a lot of people like apply them directly on their face. and then like blend it out with a brush or a sponge. I will say that's not the best way to do it, because what's going to happen, and which is why I return them, is because when you do that, it removes the foundation from underneath. So you end up with this weird like splotchy line, and that's just not cute. The way you should do it is like apply it on the back of your hand and then take a brush and like work it into your skin. There was really no good reason for me to return them other than the fact that I am lazy and I don't want to do that extra step. I just want to put it on my face and blend it out, and I couldn't do that, so it went back to the store. I returned the Fenty blotting powder because I did try it a few times. I didn't try it like a ton. I liked it, but honestly, I didn't think it really took the shine away in my T-zone, which is where I get oily. It retails for $32, and I just didn't think it was worth it. It looks nice, like there's no flashback, which is really nice, and it's an extremely, extremely light powder. There's no color or anything, but it just didn't work as well as when I use, you know, like my Estee Lauder Double Wear Foundation with my Cover FX powder and my setting spray. Like, I didn't need the blotting powder, and to be honest, I didn't really carry it around with me, because when I did and I would touch up, I felt like I was always touching up my nose, and I don't know, I just don't think it's worth it for me. I just didn't like it. It's fine if you want to get it, get it. I think there are other better powders out there. I will say, if you like traveling with powder and you like touching up during the day, bring it. I don't like touching up throughout the day. It's kind of why I have a very high standard for the makeup that I wear on my face throughout the day, because I don't want to change it. I don't mind changing my lipstick, but I don't want to have to go in and change my face makeup, and I don't want to have to bring anything with me because I'm lazy. I just don't want to do it. So it went back to the store. I also returned the retouching brush that came with it. It is kind of cool that it like magnetizes to the powder, so if you see it, in the picture that I am putting up, it just kind of like snaps together, which is really nice. But again, I also thought the shape was just a little bulky. Like, I don't understand why the compact was kind of like slimmer on the top and then it kind of came out like this. Like, if you looked at it on like on the side of it and you saw it from like a side view, it looks like a triangle, like it like kind of flared out, and I didn't really understand why it had to do that, because it was just an awkward shape for my bag. So that's another reason I returned it. So the next thing I returned, I actually returned this recently, is the Anastasia Beverly Hills Liquid Glow. This retails for $25. They come in a variety of shades. I had gotten the shade Perla. It wasn't the shade I didn't like, and it wasn't the consistency. It was just that when I put it on my face, it applied really nicely at first, and then I felt like as I worked it into my skin with my finger or my beauty blender or whatever, I felt like it disappeared, and I always had to put on way more highlighting powder to compensate for it. I feel like if I'm going to get a liquid highlight, I shouldn't need as much powder. Of course, I'm going to set all of my creams with a powder, but I just didn't think the liquid highlight for $25 was worth it. I would rather try the Cover FX drops, which I do want to get samples of and try before I spend an arm and a leg on them. It just wasn't, like, I have powder highlights that worked better than the Liquid Glow. I was really excited to try the Liquid Glow. I thought that the price, even though it is a little pricey, it's $25, okay? But compared to like the Cover FX drops, that it was a pretty reasonable price point. So I was like, hey, let me try it. The colors are really nice. I thought they had a good range of them. But when I put it on, it just kind of like disappeared, and I wasn't a huge fan of it. I much rather prefer her powder highlights, especially the one that Nicole Guerrero did. Like that is hands down my favorite. Like if you want to glow like you've never glowed before, unfortunately they don't sell it anymore, but if you can find it on a Poshmark that's not like $100, like get it. It's really, really good. Guys, the next thing that I'm about to talk about that I returned to Sephora really broke my heart a little bit. I was very, very excited to try this. This is a brand that I've never heard a bad thing about. And it was a holiday collection. It was the Natasha Denona eyeshadow palette, okay? She came out with two. She came out with Joya and Aeris. I think I'm saying those right. And they're five colors, okay? It's not her big palette. It's 5 colors. And when I swatched them at Sephora, I was like, I was just stunned. The colors were so beautiful. And I was so disappointed because here's the thing, those palettes are very expensive. So the 5-color palette, she has multiples of them. They're all very, very beautiful, and she kind of color coordinates them in certain ways by like greens and blues and nudes and plums and everything. So her holiday ones, which I'm going to put right here, each of them had a different like pop of color. And the one that I was drawn to was the one with this turquoise blue in it. It was just so beautiful. It was so beautiful. If I had all the money in the world, I probably would have gotten both because the other palette had a beautiful, beautiful like yellow gold in it. Like it was just so iridescent and sparkly and amazing and just, oh, it was so good. I was like, look, if I'm going to spend my money on something from Natasha Denona, it should be one of these holiday palettes because it's limited edition. She's not going to have it forever, and they're just beautiful. So I had gotten the palette Aeris, which is the one with the blue, and it had like an orange and like a cranberry, and it was just so pretty. It was so pretty. Let me see if I can insert a video of what happened when I turned this palette upside down. Okay, so I bought this and I had like swatched it. I was like really excited about it. It's Natasha Denona's holiday palette, and it's a little pricey, but oh my gosh, look, all you have to do is turn it over and it falls. But I was so excited to try them because their shadows are supposed to be so good and they're like pricey, but I heard that they're worth it. But literally, like, I can't even turn it. Like, all I did was flip it upside down and it's like gone. So that's going back to the store. Yes, I'm wearing the same sweater in my Instagram story video as I am now. I did not plan it. It was just an accident, okay? After this happened, I returned the palette. I went online. I went on YouTube and I typed in the Natasha Denona holiday palette to see what people had to say about it and see if other people had this problem. And of course, Tati, who, you know, Glam Life Guru, I think is her name, she does so many reviews, so I really do trust her opinion. She did a video on the Natasha Denona palettes, and she had the same exact thing. She got a PR box of all her Natasha Denona's whole holiday collection. She went to open up the eyeshadows to show people on camera, and they literally fell out of the pans. And apparently none of her other shadows do that, so like I'm sure it was just like a glitch in the manufacturing, but like they just like fell out clean right out of the pan. I mean, I was lucky I was able to like pick it up and put it back just so I can return it, but even when you opened it and looked at it, there was like little cracks like around each pan. Like it was like an outline. You could see that it was cracked and that if you turned it, it would probably fall. So I was incredibly disappointed. This was a lot of money, and I'm just glad that that happened early on so I was able to return it. I did use it once. Again, really, really pretty colors, but would not recommend. It was so disappointing, and I'm sure her other stuff is better, but that was like the most disappointing product that I returned that I was disappointed about. I know that sounds so silly, but I was just like, you know, when you're just like so excited to try something, like you're so excited to get that like sweater in the mail that you really wanted, or like to see that show that you wanted to see, or see that movie, and you spend money on it and you're like, okay, like I don't have this money, at least that's what I say, I don't have this money, but I'm gonna spend it because I love it, and this is like what I spend money on, this is what I like, this is what I enjoy, and then it just doesn't work. It just bothered me, and that's why I returned it. Alright guys, I've only got a few more items to talk about. So the next thing I returned was the Anastasia Beverly Hills Dip Brow. Now, everyone and their mother uses the dip brow. It is all over Instagram. It's like a very well-known, loved product, and I returned mine. And honestly, I think the dip brow is really only good if you don't really have eyebrows. Like if you're really trying to fill in and draw hairs because you have really light hair, or you just want them to look like super defined, the dip brow is great for that. I thought the consistency was great as well. I think for me though, it just was like too much for me. Like I have really dark hair and I usually use her brow definer and her brow wiz. I love her pencils. Her pencils are amazing, and I do think that her dip brow is very good. Like I've seen the results of people use it. I've seen her brow experts use it. It really is a good product. It's just for me, I just thought it was too intense, and I wasn't going to use it on clients because I have like a Visart brow palette, which comes with 3 gels and like 6 powders, so I'm usually always mixing those. I didn't need it, so I just returned it, and I love her pencils. I will keep buying them over and over again, but the dip brow just wasn't for me. Okay guys, and I only have one more item to talk about. This one is not as exciting. I was excited about it, but it was like fine. I was actually kind of happy to return it. Like, do you ever, this sounds maybe a little bit sick to some people, but do you ever buy makeup and you hope that it doesn't work just so you can return it and get your money back? I've definitely done that before because I will buy products that I just really want to try. But I'm like, you know what? If this doesn't work, it's okay because I will get my money back. And I am okay with that. Like, I am okay with that product not working. This was a product that I wanted it because I'd seen other people wear it and it looked really good on them. And that is the Lancome Dual Finish Powder. I had worked at the Lancome counter as a freelancer for them at a Macy's in New York City, which I don't know what you're thinking, but my first thought was like, wow, this is going to be a lot, and it turned out to be way more than a lot. But anyway, I will get to that. So I freelanced for them during the holiday season. Before working there, I knew nothing about Lancome. I mean, I knew it existed, and I knew that, you know, Lancome's been around since like the dinosaurs have been around for makeup. I didn't really use Lancome products because I was and am getting so much of my information about makeup from influencers because they're trying it and I just want to know what they think. And like, Lancome is not exactly a big brand that is like paying people to talk about them. I mean, they do have Lancome partners, and I think Laura Lee is one of them, but again, they're just not as big as like Too Faced or like Urban Decay or Anastasia Beverly Hills. Like, Lancome doesn't need to be a social media brand because they've just been around for so long and their clientele is so steady. Anyway, I knew nothing about their products, but there were so many of my coworkers and the beauty advisors there were wearing their dual finish powder, and their faces looked perfect. They looked flawless. It didn't look cakey because I really don't wear powder foundations or whatever. It just looked beautiful. So I was like, oh my gosh, I definitely have to try that. And like, on all the clients, when people are looking for foundations, generally I would show them the powder and like a liquid foundation because honestly, like, on so many people, it looks so good. And I tried it a few times, and it definitely put another layer on your face that just kind of smoothed everything out. You know, it didn't look like you had makeup packed on an inch thick. It looked really nice. But throughout the day, I found that my T-zone was still getting oily. I just used it to keep touching up, and I don't like touching up with powders during the day. I'd much rather blot my face or use like my Blotterazzi like beauty blender thing, you know, that reusable oil absorbing sponge thing. The powder just wasn't doing it for me, and after a while I felt like I looked cakey, so I was just like, what's the point? And I returned it. Buy the full-size version of the Laura Mercier translucent powder, or like, I just got the Cover FX perfect setting powder, which I absolutely love. The Hourglass ambient lighting powder is amazing. I just didn't feel like I needed that Lancome powder in my life, and while it looks amazing on other people, it didn't do it for me. I'm so sorry. I know I said that the other product, that Lancome product, was the last one I had to talk about, but then I totally forgot that on my list of notes right here, I do have another item on here, but I didn't return it. I sold it because I couldn't return it. So I didn't get this product from Sephora. I actually got it off of the Too Faced website. I was extremely excited about this launch, and it is their Too Faced Sweet Peach eyeshadow palette, okay? I was really excited for this. When it came out that day, their website was literally like slow. Like, you had to wait on a virtual line so you could even shop on their website. So I was really excited that I got my hands on it. If I'm not mistaken, they had released a whole bunch of them. When they sold out, they took their time to make more because they wanted to get the formula right. So it was like months and months until they had another release of that palette again. So I was really excited to get it because the pictures were like super pretty, and when I saw people use them, the colors were just beautiful. And I had wanted to try like a peach eyeshadow, so I thought getting the peach palette would be great. I've used it a couple of times, and my biggest problem with all of the Too Faced palettes, to be honest with you, because I had the chocolate bar palette as well, but I actually returned that one. But I'm not gonna talk about it too much because it was a while ago. I returned the Too Faced Sweet Peach palette. It wasn't because of the colors, and it wasn't necessarily because of the formula in and of itself, but the formula on me just did not work. Like, Too Faced palettes crease on me so badly. Like, it'll be like a few hours and like I'll look in the mirror and there's all creasing all over my eyelid, and I'm like,
this looks so bad, like that's not cute, no one wants that.
I sold it because I got it on the website on Too Faced and I couldn't return it because I had only, you know, realized this kind of like months later that it wasn't really working out for me. So I only had used it like maybe 3 times. So I went on Poshmark and I sold it, and someone bought it, which was great. I was just happy to like get it out of my life because I wasn't going to use it. Okay guys, so that's all the products that I have to talk about for today. Those are all the makeup items that I've returned since the fall. I'm sure that I will be returning more in the future. I'm already thinking about and looking through my shelves of makeup, seeing what I don't use and seeing what, you know, maybe I could add to my kit, or maybe what should go back to the store because, again, mom is not rich. Let me know if you guys have returned any products, or if you want to return products and like why you do. I'd be so interested to hear it. I mean, there's so many, again, as I said in the intro, there's so many beauty gurus who are able to just, you know, keep a basket of all the stuff that they don't use and just like give it away. And I've just spent so much money and so much of my income that I've earned from working on these products that, like, if I don't like them, I'm not going to use them on other people, and I'm probably not going to give them away. So I think it's best to just get my money back and just put it towards something else that is useful, or that I know works, or that I know I need. I also do have a list of skincare items that I have returned as well. So if you'd like to see a video on the skincare items that I've returned to Sephora, let me know in the comments below. Thanks again so much for watching. Like, comment, and subscribe. It would mean the world to me. Follow me on social media and, like, you know, say hi to me because I don't bite. You know, I'm just a little weird, but it's fine. It's fine. I'm friendly. Weird, but friendly. All right, guys. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye.